Why am I telling you this? Because the devil doesn't want you to understand the seriousness of this. The devil wants you to casually look at God. The devil wants you to look at the Word of God like it's just another book on your shelf. The devil wants you to think that God and Jesus is just a good story and a good time. The devil wants you casual with your faith, not radical with it. More specifically, the devil wants us to trade away to committed discipleship for a convenient Christianity. Just as long as it's not going to take up too much of my time. Just as long as it's not an inconvenience to my schedule. Just as long as it don't get in the way of what I want to do. You know, why? Because what's really sovereign in my life is me, not God. Who really is the Lord of my life is me, not God. Who really sits on the throne of my heart is me, not God. We've lost the sovereignty and the sacredness of who God is, and we wonder why we don't hear the voice of God like we once did. We sing the song, I'm calling on the God of Moses, I'm calling on the God of David, I'm calling on the God of Abraham, I'm calling on the God of the past, and we say, why is he not moving like that? It's because there's no sacredness and sovereignty to the God who is. But I can promise you, he's still moving, but he will not force himself upon you. He will never force himself on the throne of your heart. You have to invite him there. But so many times we just so casual with it. And we'll justify our sin and our compromises, and we'll say things like, well, this is just the way I was made, right? Right? We'll say like, well, this is just my personality. It's my Enneagram number, right? Nothing drives me crazier than when people use that excuse, right? Like, it don't mean you can be a butthead, okay? Right? Like you're supposed to recognize you a butthead. That's what you're supposed to do and then change it, okay? That's not, like, oh. People are like, can't believe he said that in the church. Okay, sorry. Jesus, forgive me, okay? And what do? This ain't a lifestyle choice. This is my lifestyle. And we forget we were born into a fallen world, born into sin. And the story of God and humanity is the fact that despite the fallen world we've chosen and the sin we've chosen, that when we choose God, there can be a redemption that can rise above the sin of this world and can rise above the flaws and rise above our hurt and rise above the tragedy and rise above the abuse to walk in who we were called and created to be. That the old is gone and the new is here and we are new creations in God, and he chooses to remember our sins no more. And our sins are as far as the east is from the west, which is an infinite distance apart. It's the beauty of who God is. Redemption. And the devil doesn't want you to see it. That's why Paul warned us of this. I said this last week. Satan, who is the god of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. They're unable to see the glorious light of the good news. Do you ever feel like sometimes I just don't see it? I don't see what Pastor Mike sees. I don't see what other people see. I just don't see why this church thing's right, all that. I don't see why I should give God everything. I don't see why I should go all in. It's because you're blinded. Goes on to say they don't understand this message about the glory of Christ, who is the exact likeness of God. It's like I don't understand why the majority of the world acts different and is driven by different things and accepts different things, and why we shouldn't just be like them. I just don't understand that. Well, this is exactly what God warns the people of Israel about in Leviticus. Watch this. He says, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. I am the Lord your God. Remember this. What did Jesus say? He is the one and only Lord and God. He is the Lord. When you are the Lord of something, you are in charge, you are the ruler, you are the leader, you are what we follow. He says, I am the Lord your God. So don't act like the people in Egypt where you used to live. Or don't act like the people of Canaan where I'm taking you. He says, you are not to imitate their way of life. You must obey all the regulations and be careful to obey my decrees, for I am the Lord your God. We don't imitate the world. We don't look like the world. We don't have the customs of the world. We don't have the behaviors of the world. We don't walk in the compromises of the world. Why? Because He is the Lord. His decrees are sovereign. His ways are holy. His ways are perfect, and we follow Him. Not only that, watch this, beautiful, watch this. If you obey my decrees and regulations, you will find life through them. I am the Lord. See, God's not trying to keep something from you. He's trying to give something to you. See, that's the lie the devil wants you to think. God's holding out on you. God's trying to keep good things from you. No. God's trying to keep death from you and give you life. He's trying to take hopelessness and give you hope. He's trying to take reckless unfulfillment and give you content and fulfillment in your life. But you're going to have to understand this is only achieved through a radical decision. Write this in your notes. Progressing in God's will is only achieved by surrendering your will. It's all. He wants all. He don't want part-time Christians. He wants full-time disciples. He wants your life. He wants you to give Him all. I love the very words of Jesus. Not my will, but your will be done. God, I'm at the place where it's not my will, but your will be done. Jesus tells His disciples, if you want to be my follower, you must give up your own way. Your opinion, your preference, your thoughts. You got to take up your cross, which is a symbol of dying to yourself, and you got to follow me. If you try to hang on to your life, you'll lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake, you will save it. Remember, He's not trying to take something from you. He's trying to give something to you. In the Luke's version, He says, take up your cross daily. Because this is something you're going to have to remind yourself on a regular basis, guys. I have to remind myself this 27 times in a day. I have to remind myself all the time, God's thoughts are not my thoughts. And His ways are not my ways, and His thoughts and ways are higher than my thoughts and ways, which means God rarely answers my prayers the way I think He should. A day is like 1,000 years to God. 1,000 years is like a day, which means God's timing is rarely what my timing I thought it should be. And God's decisions and God's direction and God's will, He has wrote it in His book, and I follow Him, which means rarely what I have planned in my mind is what God has actually planned for eternity for me. But every time I surrender to Him, He always gives me something better than what I ever planned in the past. Because that's the beauty of God. It's not actually a sacrifice when He gives you more than what you gave. That's the irony of giving God your everything. Which leads me to the second point. You got to give Jesus your whole heart. Jesus says, love the Lord your God with how much? All. Now, your heart is actually the symbol of your passion. It's what drives you. It's what you prioritize. It's what you want more than anything in life. It's what takes up your schedule. It's what takes up your thoughts. It's what you want in life. And here's what you've got to understand. What drives you, what is your passion, what is the very thing you crave and pursue, what takes up the majority of your time is actually the life you will produce. Right? It's just the law of God. It's the law of man. You will not produce hopes and wishes. You will produce what you prioritize in life. Right? You can't just say, I want a few good things, but your life, your heart, your desires, your priorities, your schedule is something completely opposite. It doesn't work that way. Right? Jesus said it like this. A good tree can't produce bad fruit. And a bad tree can't produce good fruit. A tree is identified by its fruit. Listen to me. You can't tell people with your words you want to be all in with God, but your desires, your priorities, and your heart says something different. Your life is going to be what your life prioritizes. Your spiritual life will be what your heart prioritizes. It's just the rule of God and man. He goes on to say, figs are never gathered from a thorn bush, and grapes are not picked from bramble bushes. A good person produces good things from the treasury of a good where? Heart. And an evil person produces evil things from the treasury of an evil what? Heart. What you say flows from what's in your heart. Your heart, what you prioritize, what you desire, what you crave, is what you will soon or later become in life. I said last week, what was the 3 ingredients to growth? It's all about the seed, all about the soil, and it's all about the seasons. Your heart is a lot like the soil. It's what you plant good intentions into. Right? If you've got bad priorities and you got bad desires and bad cravings that are opposite of what God has, it doesn't matter what good intentions you have, you'll never grow anything in life. Your soil has to be receptive for growth. Your heart has to be open for the things of God. Jesus used a story. He used a parable. He goes, it's like a farmer goes out and he throws a bunch of seed, and the guy ain't got no good aim because he throws it anywhere, right? The Bible says he throws some on some sidewalk. Well, that ain't good. Birds come and eat it. Throw some in some rocky soil. And those plants grow really fast, but they got a bunch of rocks in there, so they can't get deep roots, and the sun comes out and they die. Throw some in some thorns. Why would you throw in thorns? Well, he did. Grows up, thorns choke it out, dead. But then he throws some in some fertile soil, and it not only grows, it multiplies 30, 60, 100 times. And what Jesus is trying to get you to ask the question to yourself, and I can't answer for you, you got to ask it, what is my heart's soil? Because what your heart's soil is, what your priorities is, what your desire is, will determine your growth.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring-a-ding that bell so you never miss a video or a live stream, and give this a share to one of your friends. And remember, we go live every single Sunday. Till next time, pray God's peace.